Hey YouTube, somebody reached out to me on the Discord server and they asked me to speak about these rankings that just came out. They're called the post-spring Big Ten quarterback rankings. Came out CBS Sports, according to 24/7 Sports, and some guy named Brad Crawford. Apparently Brad Crawford doesn't know his ass from the hole in the ground, but he went out and ranked all the best quarterbacks or all the starting quarterbacks in the Big Ten. And he put them in a specific order, and I just wanted to come out and tell you guys that this order is atrocious. Now, I understand this is subjective, okay? This is subjective, but I don't like to debate. I like to educate. So what I'm going to do is actually start at the bottom of the list and work my way up and explain to you guys what's going on here. So the bottom of the list is actually a different picture. I'm going to show it to you guys now. Let's go here. So the bottom of the list, Jack Lausch is going to be the dead last ranked quarterback in the Big Ten. If you didn't know, he just got the starting job because Sullivan hit the transfer portal, and Northwestern probably needs a quarterback. Okay, so that's number one. Luke Altmaier coming over from Ole Miss. He's actually not a bad quarterback. He just doesn't have good wide receivers. They don't have a good offensive scheme. He's going to struggle. I don't think he's worse than MJ Morris. What we learned from MJ Morris at NC State last year is that he's not ready to be a starting quarterback. Transferring into Maryland, congratulations. I hope it works out for you. I like MJ Morris, but I just don't see it like that. I don't think MJ Morris is better than Luke Altmaier. Max Brosmer, coming in from the FCS, is a very good quarterback. He can actually sling it. I think this is disrespectful for his ranking. There's no way Minnesota got worse at the quarterback position by losing Ethan Kaliak-Manis and getting Max Brosmer. No, it's actually a huge upgrade, if you ask me. Ethan Garbers, I don't know what you guys are watching. I don't know what you're watching, but UCLA has great wide receivers, and Ethan Garbers played out of his mind. He outplayed a five-star quarterback in Dante Moore. Ethan Garbers' touchdown to interception ratio was on point. I believe it was 11 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, something similar like that, or 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Something pretty decent, and a 67% completion percentage. He played out of his mind. Nobody's paying attention. I don't get it. Ethan Garbers is great. That's absolutely disrespect to Ethan Garbers. Ethan Kaliak-Manis reuniting with his old offensive coordinator. It makes sense. Shout out to Kirk Soraka. But Rutgers does not have great receivers. They really don't. They have some 6'7" kid who looks really intriguing on tape. But other than that, their whole thing is run first. I would put Ethan Kaliak-Manis all the way down to 17th place. Cade McNamara, are you just assuming he's a good quarterback? Because I haven't seen it. So that's just an assumption all the way around. I can't buy that. Curtis Rourke, I respect. I thought he played well. I actually think he played well 2 years ago while at Ohio. But I actually think Curtis Rourke's going to move way up on this chart. At the end of the season, Curtis Rourke will be a top 10 quarterback in the Big Ten. Yep, he will. So will Hudson Card. Okay, that means there's guys in the top 10 that don't belong there, and I'm going to talk about them now. Let's go. So, Aiden Childs, very good quarterback. The small sample size that he has is, leaves a lot of people wondering how good is he. He's better than Alex Orji. Alex Orji has never thrown a pass, man. Alex Orji is a running quarterback who can't throw. Alex Orji has no business ahead of Aiden Childs. No business against Rourke or ahead of Rourke. This is all favoritism nonsense. This is a guy in Crawford who's just, I'm assuming 24/7 Sports is putting these guys in order by their recruiting stars and not really studying tape at all. Hasn't studied a single ounce of tape. Tyler Van Dyke coming over from Miami. He's a pretty decent quarterback. He has a good receiving core. Some of his receivers are going to be elite at Wisconsin. They still got to figure some shit out. But to put these guys behind Dylan Raiola is insane. We're talking about guys who've actually played on Saturdays, have been playing multiple years, have started at multiple universities, and you're putting them behind a guy who's only played at Buford and didn't win the state title, okay, with the most talented team. I just see a quarterback that doesn't get it done. Now, you might be excited about a spring game because Dylan Raiola lit up the Nebraska second team. That's more indicative of Nebraska's second team and lack of depth on defense, not how great Dylan Raiola is. Let me be real. Will Rogers at 5 kind of makes sense for me. I'm cool with it. If Miller Moss wins the quarterback battle, he's there. Will Howard looks like a good starter. He's going to have every weapon in the world. Just don't mess it up. That team is loaded. Just don't mess it up. Drew Aller. I understand you guys love him because he's a 5-star quarterback and only threw 2 interceptions. But when you turn on the tape, Drew Aller is not him. His receiving core is anemic. Every leading receiver left because they know they can't get anything with that guy. He is not him. He's not accurate, not a natural passer. A lot of Christian Hackenberg and Drew Aller. And then Dylan Gabriel's the obvious number 1. So what I think is the people are just ranking players based on their recruiting stars and the assumption that they're going to come to fruition and become the player that you envisioned, that you predicted, and that's absurd. Okay, I think it's actually embarrassing. But the nerve to put Alex Orji in your top 10, I'm telling you, Alex Orji is a bottom 5 quarterback in the Big Ten. Bottom 5. Hands down, bottom 5. And if we had tryouts tomorrow, that dude wouldn't be better than any of the guys on the list. Maybe the Northwestern kid, right? Your friends don't know, but Rico knows.